let's start over.
Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Athletics Podcast.
What's up, guys?
So today we wanted to dive a little bit deeper into why people hate CrossFit.
I bet you that resonates with a ton of you because you either do CrossFit and you have a lot of friends that hate you for it or give you so much crap for it, or you're one of those people that is listening to this and you're like, yeah, I do hate CrossFit. That's because it's the worst thing ever. So really, you're one or two. You either do it or you don't. Some people will say, I used to, and I miss it. And then basically you're really one of those people. And that's okay.
I guess I'd want to start off but why?
Yeah.
But
so we're gonna dive deeper into that because, I mean, I've been doing CrossFit for 15 years. How long have you been doing CrossFit for?
10 years.
10 years. So we got some experience. And you know, we don't even have that much experience as opposed to people that have been doing this for like 20 years. So really, we're just giving you our take. I've been personally coaching for 18 years, and I was definitely that person that would say CrossFit is just a bunch of cheaters because they don't even do pull-ups properly. I was one of those people. Well, like way back when I first discovered CrossFit, I was like, yeah, that's what are they doing? Why are they just swinging on the bar like that? And you know why I thought like that? Because I knew nothing. That's why. And so a lot of the time people will go and have a negative opinion or perception of something because they know nothing about it. They don't, instead of taking the time to learn about it, taking the time to actually understand it better, they just instantly see it as negative.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think also it's very common for people to associate CrossFit with what they see on ESPN in the summer. So fair enough, the perception of CrossFit can be super intimidating and intense and everyone is like the Hulk. But really, when you go down to what CrossFit is, CrossFit really was made for everyone. The founder and the owner of CrossFit originally, he built this program for longevity, and his whole thing was, taking people on a fitness and wellness or a sickness chart of wanting to get people to a state of fitness so that they can live healthier lives.
Yeah.
And the beauty with CrossFit is everything can be modified. So if you've had a bad experience with CrossFit, chances are it may have been who was coaching the class, and finding the right modification and finding the right level for you is key for you to see the results and the benefit of what it's intended to be.
Yeah. So here's what I would love to do. I would love to talk about all the reasons why people actually hate CrossFit.
I got one.
We've probably got several, but we're going to kind of tap on everything that I've heard in the past, but you can definitely kick it off.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it earlier, but it's people always think about the pull-ups.
Yeah,
they hate CrossFit because of the pull-ups.
They do hate CrossFit.
But just to clear it up.
That's because they can't do it.
Well, no. But just to clear it up.
No, it is totally because of that.
Probably. It is very high skill.
Just because you can't do a butterfly pull-up, that doesn't mean that CrossFit's bad. That means that you can't do a butterfly pull-up. I'm sorry.
No. But let's explain why we have that in CrossFit. So CrossFit, yes, there is volume involved, right? We do a lot of reps in here. You're not your typical 3 sets of 10 that you would see.
It's called muscular endurance, aka volume.
I like that.
You're
Anywho,
welcome.
so with that, we do a lot of volume. And I'm sorry, but
You're not sorry.
we couldn't do that much volume if we just kept it at strict. So we've incorporated these different skill sets so that we can do a lot of volume and, there is benefit that you get from it.
Yes, and on top of that, right, volume is just one of the reasons why we do butterfly pull-ups. Butterfly pull-ups is actually a gymnastics movement. It's a gymnastics movement that was incorporated by gymnasts. So if you hate CrossFit, you must hate gymnasts because essentially when a gymnast jumps up to the bars, right, the parallel bars or whatever they're called, they have to do a kip. They call it the glide swing. If you guys knew anything about it, you would look it up. So the glide swing is what gets people up over the bar. And the glide swing was essentially the mecca of a bar muscle up. It still is. But there are people that, can't do glide swings. It's a technique used to get over the bar. Sometimes though, you cannot do the glide swing, aka you would add a bend, and you would do this thing called a kip. A kip means that you go forward into what we call a Superman, and then you come up and then over, or you'll come up just enough to do a pull-up. So that's where a lot of this was created. Now, what most people fail to understand is that the kipping mechanics was developed after the strict strength, that's really hard to say, of the pull-up. So there is a prerequisite to being able to do any type of kipping. You have to get 3 to 5 strict pull-ups before you start kipping. The reason why people hate CrossFit is because people go, I hurt my shoulder kipping. I hurt my shoulder trying to do a bar muscle up. I hurt my shoulder doing a toes to bar. And guess what? That's because your coach said, yeah, this is how you kip. Do you have a strict pull-up? No, I don't. Oh, okay, this is how you kip. So that's where the problem then lies. So I want to kind of like touch on that because like a lot of it comes down to, if you don't know, you don't know, right? So, you know, members, clients, whatever, come into a gym with the hopes that the coach will take care of them. Unfortunately, that's not always going to happen. So it's really important that if you go into CrossFit, you're going in there learning, but always understand what experience does the coach have? Does the coach truly understand your capabilities? Like, does the coach understand that you are not strong enough to kip? Because it also comes down to the person's responsibility to say, I'm not strong enough to do that. I don't know if I should do that. It doesn't feel right to me. Like, get a little bit of body awareness, right? So that's where a lot of the time people hate kipping or whatever. Like, I remember someone literally commented on one of my posts and said, you're swinging around like a monkey. And I'm like, you just wish you could. That's really what's up there. Like, if I can swing around like that's a great animal. I'd love to swing around like a monkey. I just can't. You know, I actually have some more tension involved.
Yeah, let me add on that too. If you're coming into CrossFit and you see the kip, it's an intriguing movement, right? And the goal with these high skill movements is to get you to a point where you are able to do them. Yeah. But you have to take it in levels. So whenever someone comes in and they have the goal to do that, the more solid you can get at the foundations of the strict pull-up and of the body awareness and the tension and the things that Snez is talking about, the easier it's going to be to start to learn those skills because you have that level of strength. But you also have the confidence of time and taking away like that feeling that I'm going to hurt myself, because you can hurt yourself doing anything. But you know, when you have a good coach around you and you have someone who's giving you that step-by-step and making sure that you're progressing right. And programs. Yeah, the chances of you getting injured are way less than if you were to just go and be like, hey, I'm new, it's my first day, let me try.
And what I just mentioned is she said it's high skill, right? Like, I wouldn't go and try and get into another sport and try and do like the highest skill of that sport. Like, I wouldn't go to volleyball and just be like, okay, teach me how to do the hardest part of volleyball. I'd probably learn how to set first, right? Like, you have
straight into spike.
Yeah, and that's where I think a lot of people, they don't understand that CrossFit is a sport. It's literally a method of keeping you fitter, healthier, stronger, and, you know, live longer.
Right, and that's what I was saying at the beginning, right? Like, the things that you see on ESPN that you might be intimidated by, that's CrossFit as a sport. That's completely different to what the everyday CrossFitter does. That's comparing like the MLB to your Thursday night league, right? Yeah. It's way different, same kind of thing that you're doing, but the level there is way different.
Yes. So we definitely get you guys are cheating, right? We definitely get that.
What's another thing?
Another thing is you always get injured. CrossFit injures people. We hear that a lot. Yeah. CrossFit injures people. I'm like, please elaborate on that. And that's because they say, well, you do so many reps and sets and you do a high volume at high intensity. I'm like, no, that just means that these people are more athletic. They can handle more. So again, it comes back to the modification. When you come in, you're going to see someone lifting a ton of weight and fast, but they're experienced. You're going to see someone that just started and doing lighter weight, lower reps, and slower. That's how it is, because in CrossFit, we always go, okay, well, first we have to go there's a 3-tier. If you don't know what the tier is, I'm going to share it with you. It's mechanics, consistency, intensity. The base is mechanics. Mechanics means you have to get the technique right before you progress. So once the technique's right, you add more volume. Once the volume and the technique are perfectly aligned, you then add intensity. So this is how we would coach someone. Okay, your squat needs X, Y, Z. The squat starts to look good. Okay, now I want you to do 3 to 5 reps. Okay, it looks good. You're doing 3 to 5 reps. They probably need to improve a bit more. Okay, do it again. Do another 3 to 5 reps. Now they look good. They're consistent. They've got the right mechanics. Now do them faster. That's the progression. But people will come into CrossFit and they'll go, you know, okay, yeah, sure, I will start with 300 squats. Please give me Murph. If you don't know what Murph is, look it up. if like that's not how it's meant to be. So this is why it's important that people understand that modification is absolutely key to someone, and based on their level. Like, people only get injured because they walk on into a CrossFit gym with a big set of egos attached between their ears, and they just go into all these workouts hardcore and they hurt themselves. And so how many times have we had people go, I have tried CrossFit before, but at the last gym I was never taught this, or I was never taught that. No one ever showed me this. I actually hurt my shoulder, I hurt my hip, hurt my knee. We're like, whoa, what happened? Like, that's not meant to be. Like, that's not meant to happen. So we definitely find that. I find that a lot.
Yeah, and like, just to touch on like the whole ego thing, CrossFit definitely can build your ego because you do a lot of cool things and you are athletic and fitter
I think it
than
builds
the
your
typical.
confidence. I don't think it builds your ego.
No, what I'm saying is it can build that, like, if you are, like, if you go that route, right? But ultimately, like, CrossFit humbles you,
So
and it does build you.
I think it crushes your ego and builds your confidence, because
depending on the person. I'm saying it can. There's a lot of people who do CrossFit that have an ego, but there's a lot of people
are going to think we're fighting.
Well, I mean, welcome to. We keep it real. But you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that CrossFit can build your ego if you are that kind of person.
The good ego.
Not even necessarily, though. There are a lot of people, and I think this could go into point number 3. People hate CrossFit because people have an ego. And I've seen it. You have like that guy that's, I can lift a lot, I'm bulky, I always have my shirt off, and you're just like, yo. But then you have another guy who moves faster, is the same, but completely different personalities, completely different types.
So who has the ego?
The guy with the shirt off.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's like showing himself, right? Or herself. It doesn't matter. But that could also be a reason why people hate CrossFit, because they're like, well, why would I want to be amongst a place that's like that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So, yes, I get it, and I hope that you do too. So basically, because people are like, yeah, CrossFit, I'm ripped, I'm strong, and that's what she means by it can build that ego, which is negative. Or it could build someone's like, I'm constantly being challenged, I'm constantly kind of like struggling, but I'm going to go against this person, and I'm going to beat them in a humbling manner. And I think that was just the way I explained it, but that's cool.
It's fine though.
Okay.
Got there.
But yes, I definitely think that people do that as well. They're like, and brings us to the next point. CrossFit is not a cult. Your gym has a cult.
Valid. I agree with
Oh my gosh.
CrossFit does have a community. And the community is a great thing because community does keep you accountable.
It either has a community or it has a cult. There's two different things.
Correct. Community is a good thing because with community, you're getting the accountability. But you're also, like, it's a place where you can build and form healthy relationships.
100%.
And we're not meant to go through this life alone. So having, coming to a gym with other like-minded people, what you experience when you come to a CrossFit gym that does have a community, it's crazy. And I'll go on a little tangent real quick, but I didn't ever feel like I had that growing up. And so when I found CrossFit and I found that community sense, it was like, for the first time, like, oh, I'm amongst like-minded people. And it was a place of belonging and me really like starting my journey to like finding like myself. So, and I have CrossFit to thank for that. Yeah.
And so I want to touch on the cult thing because we had cults. Like at Athletics, we did have cults. Not anymore. I said did because I kicked them out. And this is another thing. If you're an affiliate and you're watching this, don't be afraid to kick and cancel members or clients because at the end of the day, it's your environment. It's your business. It's your culture. It's your community. It's your everything. You're building this thing. And so like at first I was super scared to tell these people to leave, but oh my gosh, it was the best thing that ever happened to me because there was no cliques. Cults create cliques. And those cliques are the ones that are always like isolating others and they're talking smack, not welcoming, not inclusive, think that they're the shit. Like that's what you're going to run into. So I can see why people would think that that exists, but there are places like us that really like we pride ourselves on not having a cult. Like we have a close-knit community. Like people are cool. Like people will go and have dinner together if they really want to, but it's not like this like every day after 6 a.m. we're going to go to a coffee shop and then we're going to talk about the workout, we're going to talk about each other, and then we're going to talk about the owner, and then we're going to come back the next day and then repeat. That's not what we do here, and that's not what anyone should do here. So it needs to stop, and especially if coaches are involved, I can understand why people would hate that. Because then all you see is like, oh, the CrossFit cult are together. They're all wearing the same shirt with the same logo, with the same headband, and they just look lame. Like, you look lame. That's it. So I can see why people think that, but there are so many other gyms that don't allow that to happen. Like, we are one of those. We do not let that happen. If we see it, we stop it. Because you don't want cults. Because cults, when was that ever a good thing? Like, let's go back in time. Never. So, but community, huge.
Especially with that, it's, CrossFit was, when it was first created, it was that community, it was that small group and like intimate setting. And so like just knowing like from personal experience, when you have that, or if that comes in, it takes away that warming feel that I belong, because of the cliques. You have this group here, you have this group here. One group might not listen to the coach at that point, and it doesn't create a healthy, safe space. Yeah. And I think that was like one of like the founding principles that you had when you started athletics, is you wanted it to be a space that empowered people, but welcomed and it gathered people together. So for coaches out there, like if you are experiencing that, get on that sooner rather than later. Like sometimes having that confrontation might not be the most comfortable thing, but the benefit that you get with that is far exceeding like any discomfort.
But also, if you're a member and it's happening at your gym, bring awareness. Like the amount of people that didn't tell me, like I'm so mad at them, because like I wish they had come up to me and said, hey, like I don't feel comfortable because you've got this little cult inner circle thing going on. And and only after they left, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so much happier now. Like they came into the light more. Like you have no idea how many people are standing in the shadows, not wanting to be coached because of the cult in your gym. I mean, it's up to you really. Like, and so if you remember, bring awareness to the owner. Like they deserve to know. And if the owner is like you don't know what you're talking about, just leave the gym. Move on. There's another one out there. There's one down the street. There's one down the street from us. Like every gym is going to have a different set of core values, a different way of being, and they're going to offer you so much more than what you're looking for. Like every gym aligns with the characteristics of the client. That's just it, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to add on something with that too. Yeah. So if you are looking, like if you don't currently go to a CrossFit gym, I would highly suggest, I've done this even before athletics was open, I was at other gyms, like doing your research of like the gyms that are around your area. Like go and just look on their website or go and look on their Instagram, because you get a pretty good idea of what they're about. And that matters, especially in this kind of setting. Like it does matter that you feel like you do belong and that you're welcomed in that space, because it's only going to help you like as you start your journey.
For sure, yeah. So, but that's definitely another reason why people hate it, because of the cult. So, but not all the gyms have cults. So this is why it's important to get that feel, straight off the bat. What else? Why else do people hate CrossFit? I had one right before I said the cult thing. Damn it.
They don't like to be told what to do. That could be a thing.
Yeah, people don't like to be told what to do. That's for sure.
I got one. I got a good one. The price.
Oh, the price is so expensive. They're so expensive.
I want to touch on this one real quick.
People hate CrossFit because the price is too high.
But here's the thing, right? So going back to when CrossFit was created, it was this idea of like small group training, right? So CrossFit, like especially here, we cap our classes, and we do that intentionally, not because like we're so driven in coaching, and that's like a big thing is, yes, you can go and you can pay $50, $80, $100 for access, but that's all you're getting is access. When you join a gym that's small group classes that are coach led and you are getting coached, you essentially are getting private training, and you're getting eyes on you. Yeah, semi-private training, not full one-on-one, but you're getting that feel of in a small setting. And so what that does for you is it gets someone watching you. It gets someone being able to look at your technique, correct it, make sure that you don't get hurt, and then you get to progress with that coach, and you get to progress in your skill levels to become like this ultimate, like best version of yourself.
Yeah, so definitely the price of it is really like people don't understand. Like people don't understand that it really is semi-private training. So if you were to go For example, if you were to go to a personal trainer who's quite good, let's say you go to someone that's quite good, they've had a ton of experience, they know what they're doing, the whole works, and you say, how much is it for me to see you one-on-one? That personal trainer will be like, well, it's $120 for an hour. And that might be expensive to you. Let's say it's not between 90 and 120. And you said to them, but I want to go every day. Are you going to pay 90? Let's even that out, okay? $105 will be the breaking point. So $105 every day. By the end of the week, you're at $525. But you're like, hey, that's a lot. I can't afford that. Could I bring a friend with me? Yeah, cool. We could do that. But I can only give you and your friend 15% off. So then that price comes down to, I don't know, $475. I'm just doing math in my head. So that's $475 a week. This is just a week for 5 days. And you're like, oh, that's still a lot. What about if I bring another friend? Yeah, you can bring another friend, and we'll bring that price down to $400 a week, or maybe even $350. That's every week. And then you say, what about if I bring 3 other friends with me? So now we've got a group of 6. And the guy goes, you know what? I'll do it for $100 a week. But that trainer is making $600 a week from each person, but from you, he's making $100. Now you times it by 4 to 5, because it's a month, and you're looking at $400, $500 just for you and that trainer to do a semi-private class. So you do the math on that. That's for 5 days a week. Let's now bring that cost even further down, because more people are involved, and you might be paying anywhere between $200 and $300 for unlimited access, unlimited coaching, program done for you, quality, hopefully, equipment, and like a proper schedule and routine and a community. Don't tell me CrossFit's expensive. Tell me that your mindset is. That's it, because your mindset's expensive. It's very expensive to you, that's for sure. So you have to look at it differently. It's all about the perception. Yes, I could go and join a gym for $9.99 a month, and I guarantee you I'm going to be waiting next to the squat rack. I'm going to be looked at by every single person. Someone's going to be recording their butt in the background. Someone's going to be recording their bicep curls in the foreground, and I'm going to hate.
Know what to do.
And I'm going to be just sitting there going, does anyone do anything around here other than sit on their phones and sit on a machine? You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not to say that is only what happens there, but there's a lot of that happening there. There's not enough change in these commercial gyms. They're trying to change it. I can tell. There are people out there trying to change commercial gyms, but they haven't changed it enough. Not yet. Maybe in another 5 years' time. But the benefit of CrossFit is that you're not going to get that. One, because you know what is a big key thing with CrossFit gyms? There's no mirrors. Have you ever wondered why there's no mirrors in CrossFit gyms? Let's say there is 1 or 2. We have a mirror for correction and to take selfies at the end of class. But the main key for CrossFit not to have mirrors is because we don't want that arrogance. We don't want the people just doing curls and checking themselves out the whole time, right? That does build confidence. Don't get me wrong. Builds confidence. So don't hate on me because I said that, even though it's probably true. But the key is that CrossFit gyms don't have mirrors because you have a coach. The coach is your mirror. And the coach might coach you in a way that's like, hey, I'm going to record you, then I'm going to show you back what you're doing. Your coach might actually mirror you. Like, that's where you know you've got someone that cares about your movement pattern, what you're doing. We don't need mirrors, because I'll tell you one thing that most people don't realize. Mirrors also change the perception of depth. When you're looking straight at a mirror and you're squatting down, you think you're going lower than you are, and I can guarantee you right now that you're not. So they change the perception of depth. Don't you notice, like, side mirrors in a car? What is the main thing that they say? They say the object could be further away than what you realize, whatever it says. It's the same thing. You are further away than what you realize. So that is one of the key things. So people hate CrossFit because we've got this concept of like a price, but we've got all this concept that surrounds that price and actually over delivers. Last thing, you maybe pay $5 or $6 a class. That's outrageous. That should be at least $15 a class.
It's like a latte.
It's like a latte. That's right.
But also, so like with CrossFit, yes, there's a price to it, but you're getting the coaching. You're also getting the programming. Like, we take the guessing out for you. You come and like you're taken care of. You don't have to think about it. So how often are you like, I want to start working out, but I don't know what to do. You know, like I've heard that so much. And that's what we're here for as coaches, is we're to guide you, and there's structure in the program that you do to get you the results that you're after.
Okay, I feel like we can move on, because
Yeah.
I have a good one.
Go.
People hate CrossFit because of the way that people roll around on the floor like they're dying. Like they finish a workout and they roll around and like, like literally, please, if you're that athlete, stop doing that. If you're the gym owner that lets that athlete, please stop them from doing that. Because it's just so outrageous. It's so over the top. You don't need to do it. Like
It's
if you
like the male
cannot,
soccer players
if you
playing
can,
soccer.
yeah, it's like the male soccer players that trip when no one's inside. Like this is the thing that bothers me a lot. Like yes, push yourself, 100%, but get your damn breathing under control. Like seriously, like you can push yourself. I've pushed myself so hard to the point where I honestly didn't, like I had to go to the floor. Because if anyone's ever done Fran leaves you on the floor.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. But I get down on the ground. I'm not like rolling back and forth, hand on my face. I'm like, whoa, okay. Just focus on my breathing. Focus on getting back to where I need to be. Like just pour that. Like don't make it dramatic. It's like a movie scene. We don't do that here.
No.
If anyone
There
ever did
are
that
workouts,
here,
though.
I would probably start recording them straight away and be like, what do you want to call this scene? Let's call it something.
Oh my gosh.
I would do
There
that.
are workouts though that do leave you on your back, and
Yeah.
you like do want to lay on the ground because you've exhausted yourself. That is okay. That is not what she's talking about at all. Just let's clarify.
I just think it's more so people see these extremists, right? Like these dramatic, like we're talking like, I would get up and do it right now. I'm not going to. But we see these people that roll around as if like it's World War II and they've just been shot. It's like, come on.
And it could be a thing that definitely veers people away from CrossFit.
Yeah, because then they're like, I don't know if I want to push my body that hard. Like, that's kind of extreme. But you don't need to, right? Like, CrossFit's all about, like, yes, increase your lactic acid threshold, but let's not make a scene about it, right? Like, you just don't need to make a scene. So people do see that as like, well, it's a little extreme. People are so extreme, or people are so dramatic. And I just think that could easily be solved if people stop doing that. But I also want some other people to understand this. CrossFit does push your limits. It really does. It pushes you to some very uncomfortable positions, right?
Yeah, but in saying that, it also pushes you, like, and this is I'm glad that you're tying this, because I wanted to end it with, we just kind of talked about negatives of why you may hate it.
Yeah.
But the positives and what you gain from it is, yes, like, you are going to get pushed and you are going to get tested, but what you get from that is, your confidence, your strength, your tenacity, your resilience, like how much you can actually go and do. It's oftentimes it's like, whoa, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
Like, how many times do we hear that? I didn't think I could complete that workout,
Yeah.
but I did, and I feel good now.
Yeah. After
So-
they've caught their breath. But again, like, it's like,
Your breath.
yeah, it's all about the breathing. No, but also this is the thing. After a while, when you've been doing CrossFit, if you're in the right environment, again, it does come down to finding the right CrossFit gym.
And that goes for anything.
And even like also, I'm really hoping that some of these reasons why people hate CrossFit can, and if you're a CrossFit owner and you're watching this, if this is happening in your gym, I really hope that you can change the culture in it, because that's the whole point. Also, when people it actually helps you develop self-awareness, because what happens, right? It's like, so what is going on in your body is you're shocking it. You're putting it under significant stress. Like, obviously it's intentional stress. It's not emotional stress. It's physical stress. Like, it is a way for you to shock the body so hard in some aspects, like a benchmark workout. Shock it so hard. And then what's your reaction to that? How do you self-regulate? That's really what's happening. So your body's going to a state of shock, state of stress. It's worked really hard. And then you're down on the floor, and then what you can do is just self-regulate. Okay, I've got to just bring me back to ground here. I'm okay, I've just got to lower my heart rate. I'm going to focus on how I am. I'm going to focus on what I feel. I'm going to be proud of myself because I worked real hard. That's really what it's about. So the hard work is there, and it's great that the hard work is there, but self-regulation, that's what that's trying to teach you. But people don't know how to self-regulate because they're so easily triggered, and so they're in this state of shock, so they get dramatic.
Are we going back to the breathing thing?
I'm trying not to.
All right. So moving on with that. So with CrossFit, you know, you're gonna get in like the best shape. It's proven time and time again. You know, you're gonna increase your fitness. You're gonna increase your capacity. No, we're gonna talk about the positives now.
No, we're talking about that was positive.
Yeah, I know, but
Self-regulation is positive. Just so you know, self-regulation. If you don't know how to self-regulate, we got to work. You got to do CrossFit because CrossFit helps teach you that. Oh boy.
The point in all this is CrossFit really isn't what you may think it is. And your
Is
perception.
there any other reasons why people
there's no more reasons. That was a lot.
Oh, I think there's more.
I'm trying to carry on.
I think there's more reasons why people hate CrossFit.
Maybe we'll do episode 2.
You know what we would like? We want
if
we didn't hit. Yeah, I know. If we didn't hit a point of why people hate CrossFit, can you please put it in the comments why you hate CrossFit if you're watching this? And or if you've heard,
we'll be more than willing to do another episode like this far out.
And then because I'm passionate.
I see that.
I'm passionate,
I
guys.
I feel the passionate.
You know why I'm passionate?
Here.
This is why I'm passionate.
It's going.
I do have one more.
Oh my gosh.
I have to.
No more.
So many people are going to resonate with this. People also hate.
Tell me, please, in the comments, if this last one you resonate with. I want to know personally.
Okay. People hate CrossFit because everyone talks about CrossFit. Like how many CrossFit? Yeah. There's so many memes out there. But hey, if the meme wad is watching this, you better use one of these. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So because he's like,
just at him now.
At him, at you. Anyways, so like. The amount of people like, oh, where were you at CrossFit? What are you doing tomorrow? CrossFit. Where are you going? What are you going to be doing this weekend? CrossFit. Like that, like it's a thing. I don't do that. We don't do that. I feel like a lot of people don't do that. But
you might like when you're first starting out because like
you fall in love.
You really do fall in love with it. But you fall in love with it because it's like you're doing hard things, but those hard things make you feel good.
Yeah.
You know? And so if you're at that,
we fall in love with CrossFit.
Don't lose that. Like keep that with you because that's also like another like positive of CrossFit, you know? Like it really is a doorway and opening into you like leveling up in life, you know, and getting healthy and all of the good things. And maybe that could be the next episode that we do is like the benefits that you get of CrossFit.
Well, I think we did some benefits of did the
but
opposite.
specifically, this was
we
more
could
of like
we could definitely go into like there's
actually,
so many
reasons. Let's do this. What would you guys like to see? What would you guys like to know, or for us to have a conversation about? We might fight in some of it, but that's okay.
I don't think it's fighting. I think it's more that I disagree. Well, also, apparently, I don't understand.
Well, you also are the one who said, are we fighting? So I'm just calling you out about it. Anywho, let us know what you guys want to see on this.
So two comments, and two things that we're asking for in the comments. Number one, if you hate CrossFit, tell us why. We're welcoming it, please. But don't be mean about it, okay? That's not necessary. Like, please. And also, if you do CrossFit, but you know people that hate it, and we didn't mention one of those, comment on that. The next thing and the last thing is comment on what you want to see, okay? Please don't ask us to do a workout because, like, we work out so often.
This is a podcast. This isn't where we work out.
We are talking.
We are, for once, not working out.
So, we are going to leave it with this. CrossFit.com have a website where you can find an affiliate. So we're going to mention them. We're not at all getting anything by doing that. But we are a CrossFit affiliate here in Brea, California. So we would encourage you, if you're considering CrossFit, go to CrossFit.com and find an affiliate on the affiliate map. If you just Google searching, okay, please make sure that the gym you go to is CrossFit affiliated. I will say this, the amount of gyms that do CrossFit that are not affiliated are insane, and they're stealing from CrossFit. So please make sure that they are affiliated because then you know that they're getting continued educational learning. I just thought of another one, but I'm not going to mention it.
No.
Not going to mention it.
No more.
And you want to make sure that that gym is kind of just, doing the right thing. It really comes down to integrity.
So guys, on that note, go make good choices and we will see you on the next one.
And move with integrity.
Far out, you.